Hey guys, Jeff here, Dice Setter. So, what does it take to become good in a trade or a sport? I run an auto shop business. Now, there's many things that are simple to do: brakes, oil changes, stuff like that. But how about diagnosing? How about when the engine light comes on? What do I do that will help my business be the best when it comes to diagnosing? One thing I do is I spend a lot of time watching videos. Spend a lot of time watching other auto mechanics with the problem and how they diagnosed it. There's nothing worse in the middle of a diagnostic that you go the wrong direction. You end up chasing your tail, and then you have to stop, go back, and figure out why you're chasing your tail. Let's take, for instance, Tiger Woods. How did he become such an amazing golfer? When he's practicing, he sits there and hits 100 golf balls a day. Now, I've only gone to the golf course one time. I really like hitting the ball. I like Top Golf. Absolutely love that. But to do 1,000 balls in one day, I'm probably, 2 hours, 3 hours with a couple of people there, and I'll feel it the next day. I will absolutely feel, because I'm doing stuff I not normally do. But that's what Tiger Woods does to become the best. Practice. I could practice more on my craps table than I do right now. But I only have a certain amount of time. And with that certain amount of time, there's things I can do and there's things that I have to push off. I know how to roll the dice. I know how to do it well. Can I roll the dice better? Sure I could. But that would mean that I would have to take time from something else and apply it back to training and practicing at the craps table. So questions for those that do dice set. Dice influence, whatever it is you want to call it. How often are you practicing? Are you practicing that often? The biggest emails I get are people that are unsure of what to do when they get to the table. And I only play at one place. They only have one table, and I can definitely tell you from day to day it changes. Sometimes we think that it becomes like a slot machine. You go to 10-cent denom, you're going to play $10 a spin, you're going to put in $500, and before that $500 is up, you're going to win $2,000. It's not that way with slot machines, and it's not that way at the craps table. Just because you're at that table the night before, just because you were betting a certain way the night before, just because all this the night before does not reflect on what's going to happen today. I can guarantee you that. It might have some reflection, but just remember the table does change. And not only does the table change, but you change. There's certain muscles that you sit there and say, boy, I slept on that wrong. Your throwing will change. If you sit there and play for 5 hours straight, I guarantee you what you could do at the first hour is not what you could do in the 5th hour. Everything changes. Far too often, I see videos of these players. They have so much money on the table, chasing a lifetime roll, and end up spending a lifetime of money trying to chase that. Even when I had 16 grand in my pocket a couple months ago from all the money I won on the slot machines. I did not play wrong at the craps table. I could have. I could have sat there and put all sorts of money up there. But all that would have done in my mind was I would have lost it. I play consistent. I play knowing you're going to lose more times than win. But if you play smart, you can cut that edge down that hopefully you'll win a little bit more than what you lose. So I'm going to show you kind of my strategy of what I do at a table, what I do at Ellis Island. Even if I rolled the night before, everything changes. You change, the table changes, the dice are different, the dice are new, the people around you are different, the type of music is different, the song is different, the atmosphere is different, everything's different. So for us to go 64 across every single time, I guarantee you there are numbers you won't roll. I guarantee you that when you 7 out, they'll be, well, what did I put money here for? I lost that and it didn't do me any good. It did not pay me back any money. So I want to show you kind of like what I do, how I fill it out, because to me that's like the number one question I get. What do I do at this new table? How do I play at this place? How do I play at that place? It really doesn't matter what place you play at. As long as the table's not super bouncy, I'll kind of walk you through my steps, walk you through what I'm thinking. It might not be right, you might lose, but when that happens, we make sure that we don't make that same mistake again, and we correct our problems, and we continue to play. So that's what I want to show you. I think I read everything I needed to read. So without further ado, here is today's video. Alright guys, so for the most part, I'm going to be using the same dice set. This dice set that I like, that I'm comfortable with. There's no sense of continually changing your dice set. Have a dice set you know is going to work. It will change from time to time. You might have to adjust things from time to time. The next thing that you need to do is make sure that you're always on the same spot. Now, I have this felt here, so I'm going to use this puck as where I need to line up. You know, if I really wanted to, I could kind of do this kind of number, you know, to help me make sure that I'm lined up always the same. When you're at a table, you got lines on the table. You can always make sure that you're always lined up, same spot, and that's what you want. You also need to make sure that your landing zone is close to always being that same spot, because that's going to change everything. So I'm not going to tell you how much money I have as a bankroll or whatever. I'm going to just put money out there. $10 table, let's just go with that. It's a $10 table. So my thoughts are, I'm going to do the 555 for the bonus. So that's 15 bucks. In case if I roll a 7, I want to cover that. So my pass line bet has got to be over 15 bucks. Because if I 7 out, or not 7 out, but if I roll a 7 before the puck, I want to make sure I get that money back. So it's got to be beyond 15 bucks. So I would say maybe 20, 25. So I'll start with 25. To make sure the dealers are on your side, I always put money down there for the dealers. I know there's people that disagree. Let them disagree. I don't care. Being that we have this much money on the pass line, we got to protect ourselves from the 2, the 3, and the 12. So it's got to be $6 or higher. $6 would guarantee us about 40, I think it's 42 or $47. So $6 on the crap check. We have our bonus. If we get a 7, we're going to get that money back. We're going to lose that. The dealer, if they get a 7, they're going to get that. I have my crap check. I'm good to go. I know what my dice set's going to be. My dice set is always the same, 1, 2, 6, 5. Excuse me. Yeah. 1, 2, 6, 5. All 7. I have my starting spot that I'm going to try to always start on. Always be the same on. My landing zone, I'm going to try to be the same. And we have a 7. I should have thrown just a hair more that direction. We would lose this, we'd gain that, the dealer would take that, we'd replace that for the dealer, we would lose that, this would cover that. And we're going to roll again. So that was a 7. Landing zone definitely got in the way. Sometimes you want to ask yourself, why did I roll a 7? I can tell you right now, it was my landing. It has nothing to do with the table, nothing, just me. And there we have a hard 8. Now we need money on this table. Your little crap check will go away. I always try to start with a 6 and 8. The reason why is the easiest 2 numbers to roll besides the 7. So we already are on the 8. So 18 bucks on the 6. Eventually I want to do an iron cross, but right now I don't know if I'm going to roll a 5. I might not, so right now I'm not going to do anything. There's no sense putting money in the field. Don't know, don't know. We're just going by feel and see how the table works. We have an 8. When I start doing the iron cross, I'll have money here on the 5, I'll have money here in the field. When you have the 5, 6, or 8 as your point, you want to make sure you back it up with odds, especially if you're playing the field, because you're going to lose money here. Your odds will cover the money you lost here in the field when you're doing the iron cross. Now, if you're not doing the iron cross, that's not a problem. Don't worry about it. So we hit our point. Now, being that we hit our point, does that mean that I'm throwing correctly or not? The first time was a hard 8. This one's an easy 8, so not really. We'll get money for the 25 here. The dealer will take their money. We will replace that. And then we will again put another $6 more on crap check. This dice set, when everything's working right, it will produce 8s and 9s if you're throwing it correctly. And there goes a 7. Puck was off. My landing zone caught that to kick back. My fault again. We'll lose this. We'll lose this. This will reset everything back up. I won't take my points down because I'll just leave them up there, but being that we're playing the bonus, the 8 point would go away. So right now, my biggest thing is I'm hurting myself by my landing zone. It's going to be another 8. That's a 2, 6, which it was the last time I rolled an 8. We'll switch. We'll do $100 chips. That just means that I really hit that 8. We'll lose this guy again. So if I hit my landing zone correctly again, we should see a 2-6. I did not hit my landing zone correctly. I hit the bumper. That's my first 5, but that was because I missed my throw. Should I put money on the 5? I don't think so. That was my landing zone being off again. 5. So that one there was a good throw. It was 5. I've hit that twice. One bad landing zone. Second one was a good landing zone. So we're going to do 3 units on 5. And we might as well start doing the iron cross. I'm going to do minimum $10 on the iron cross. That way when I hit the 5, 6, or 8 again, that won't counteract what I'm trying to do. But now we'll get paid for everything that's rolled. Except for the 7. We will not get paid for that number. There goes a 9. We'll get paid for that one. Is at this moment, the dice that I rolled rolls 8s and 9s. I'll have to sit there and think to myself, should I go ahead and put money on the 9? Because I got 9 here as well, but if I keep on rolling 9s, I can sit there and do a double 9. So at this point, I think I'm going to. I'm going to put 3 units on 9 in hopes that that's what's going to happen. Notice I have not rolled a 4, I have not rolled a 10, I have not even rolled a 6, yet I have money on the 6. But that's the second most common number next to the 8. So I'm going to let that ride. We want to put money at the right spot, but at the same time we don't want to sit there and neglect things that should normally hit. 6 and 8 definitely should hit more often than anything else. That's going to be a yo. So being that we started our iron cross, we're going to get paid because it's on the field. I'll mark a yo. So we have 8, 9. We need the 10 and the 12 for the tall. Being that we're playing the bonus, the dealers are going to keep track of the numbers that we're hitting. You should look at that often to see what numbers you're not hitting and look at where your money is at. That one, I should have thrown a little bit harder. That's a 7. So my dice set's right on the money. I have to sit there and say there's no reason to change my dice set. I have just got to make sure my landing is perfect. So going with what we know, I'll just reset this back up. Going with what we know, we'll reset this thing back up again. We're going to put our $6, and $6 or higher. It's safe it'll cover, not that one, that's the dealer's, but it's safe they'll cover that one. And we're going to try it again. And this time we already know our flaw. Our flaw is the landing zone. I worked 12 hours today. It's been over 100 degrees in Arizona. Truly my shop really isn't that hot, not yet. But most of the time you wouldn't be working outside, come into a casino and start throwing craps. Most of the time you wouldn't do that. It's a 6. I did not like that land, but it is what it is. I'm going to move my 6 to my 8. We're going to lose this guy here. We have money on 6 and 8, and that's all we're going to do. I'm going to wait until I hit something, or to make sure I have my landing zone under control, because right now that's my biggest battle, is my landing zone. throwing the dice hard enough, far enough, and making them land correctly. It's going to be an 8. 2, 6, just like before. That means that, again, we're back on track. Our landing zone's good. We're repeating what we want to repeat. That's a 4. I didn't hit it squarely. It rolled on me. I'm not going to think too much about rolling that 4. The good thing was it wasn't a 7. Should I now put money on the 4? No, I wouldn't. That was just an oops. The dice rolled to the left. I don't want the dice to roll to the left. I want it to be stationary. So now we got our 9. Remember, your dice set, you got to know your dice set. And my dice set is going to be different than your dice set, even if the dice set is exactly the same as the way I throw, the way you throw. Trust me on that. Just because it works for me does not mean it's going to work for you. But again, 8s and 9s I know are going to work. So I'm going to put money on the 9. I already have money on the 6. That was kind of like a fluke. Do I think I'm going to roll the 5? No, not really. I'm going to leave it that way. I want to make sure I've conquered my landing zone before I put more money on the table. It's going to be another 8. It'll be at this time that you should have already increased your bet on 8 and not leave it at 3 units, being that you know you're going to roll the 8. I would start off minimum and then go from there. But we know 8s are going to roll. There goes a 2. The left dice kicked out on me. I need a 3 and a 5 for my small. And I probably won't get that because my dice set is more in tune with tall. Wow, there goes a 7. That's the way it landed. This is my dice set. 1, 2, 6, 5. So basically they probably hit each other and spun one direction. Again, it's truly not my dice setting problem. It has to do with just my landing zone. I gotta get my landing zone under control. That was 6, not that good. I'll try it one more time, see if I can't get my landing zone better. This dice set is amazing as long as you are landing your landing zone correctly. But when you're not, it is unforgiving. I'm going to try for just a hair higher, more of an arc. There goes a 5. Surprised about that. Same dice set, same dice. We're going to load up on the 6 and 8. Oh, I did not put my crap check up there during the first roll. At least I don't think I did. Always got to remember your crap check. Because when you forget, that's when you're going to roll the 2, the 3, or the 12. It's going to be a 5 again. So changing the arc just a hair changed a lot. Back up on that crap check. $6. It's going to be a 9. Now's the time you might as well go ahead and put money on the 5, because we already rolled it twice. We're throwing a little harder, a little higher, and we might as well sit there and do the field. That way we catch everything that we're throwing. Again, we're just making sure that we are good before we start increasing our bets. If we can't go beyond 7 throws without a 7, we need to hold back, figure out what's wrong. It's going to be a 3. Left dice kicked out a hair. I would have gotten paid on my field. I should say something. That was a 3. A lot of people at the table will now sit there and put money on the horn. I know why I rolled a 3. But to put money on the horn now, I don't think so. Now, just because I said that, watch me roll a 2 or a 12. Or a 3. I missed my landing zone. But having one horn number when you're dice setting does not mean that you're going to have another horn number unless that's your dice set. Three again. I know I just sat there and said one horn number does not mean you're going to get more. That would have been paid on the field. Five. Good thing we put money on the 5. I would have lost this. At this point, I would go ahead and increase my 5 by 1 unit. I have not hit the 6 or the 8, but I know as soon as if I were to take money off of it, I would start hitting that again and again. The left die rolled again on me. So at this point, I would, not until I can correct my landing zone. Whether it's because I'm tired, I worked 12 hours today. I got up at 3:30 this morning and is now, I don't know, 7 at night. It's probably just because I'm tired. But these are the thought processes that you have to have when you come to the craps table. You've got to always be analyzing, what am I throwing? What am I doing? The money I would have lost during that one throw, I would have lost the my bonus, which is fine. I really don't care about that. The biggest thing that would really hurt my feelings is that we did not land on 6 or 8 this time, and I only did one thing different. I made my throw arch higher so it landed on the table harder, and that also caused some of the 3s to land as well. But these are the things that you need to sit there and fix before we sit there and start pressing our bets up. Because if we had done that prior, we would have lost a lot more. This is just fun. We're trying to figure it out. And once we figure it out, then we're going for it. But these are my thought processes as I approach the table, as I am trying to throw. And sometimes everything works perfectly. You get your tall, you get your small, you get your all. And you leave, $500 to $700, and you're happy, and you just go, well, that was fun, and you walk away. That's cool in my book. You played it safe, you did everything correctly, and that's your outcome. And I would rather do it, little bit by little bit, than for us to take a gigantic loss because we're trying to do a Hail Mary. That's my thought process. Tell me what you guys think about. Tell me your guys' thought process on my thought process. Please leave a comment. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. It costs you absolutely nothing. And it just means that I like craps, and hopefully other people that like craps will watch this channel. And I do get money on my craps channel, and that is for shipping and for some of the stuff I buy when I do have contests. And that's all that money is used for. I'm not building a new home. I'm not trying to buy land with that money. I'm not trying to gamble with that money. That's all I really truly do with that money is it pays shipping. The last time I probably had close to $50 in shipping, and they weren't even going that far. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you guys think. This is a channel where it's interactive, so if you guys comment, I always try to comment back. Thanks, guys.